Welcome to ISK is Easy Part 2. Today we're going to look at Tech 2 blueprints. Now this is originals only, we're not looking at the invention piece, that'll be something we'll look at later. The reason I include this is, again, people kind of ask me where I get a lot of my money from and things like that, and to be honest with you, I used to do a huge amount of Tech 2 BPO manufacturing. As you can see here, this is kind of the remnants of that. I don't do it anymore. We did a lot of invention as well, and that'll be a video I do a bit later on, but I just wanted to share with you kind of some of the, I guess, the revelations around Tech 2 BPO production, because it's quite an interesting concept. What we basically were doing from them was obviously producing, pretty much permanently. The only advantage you get from that versus invention, I think, is you get a much more efficient build. So your profit margins are naturally going to be higher. But one of the key things I think people seem to get wrong with Tech 2 blueprint building is that they think you spend 40-50 billion on a blueprint and then you make, I don't know, a couple of billion a year from it. But you have to see it from maybe the wider point of view that, with any investment, you actually, you do something where you don't necessarily write off the investment, the capital investment at the start. You can actually sell that at the end. And Eve being perfect, where obviously you don't have degradation of resources, you actually can just sell it for pretty much what you paid for it, unless markets crash. But even then, I think in the years I've been playing, I don't think I ever saw the Tech 2 blueprint market really crash. I mean, okay, yeah, it went up and down, but the reality of it is they're quite good. This is actually the only blueprint I've got left now, and I don't really build from it. I just, must get around to selling it. But I just wanted to maybe introduce it as a way to make money. Certainly only for the mega rich. Depends how much you really want to pile into this, but I think in terms of steady, stable income, it's a pretty good one. If you already have a Tech 2 blueprint catalog, also, you're going to be pretty rich, and you have a massive capital investment right there. So depending on if you actually want to go and do this, there are some key factors to bear in mind. Once again, we have our spreadsheet here. This will be available for download if you are interested. And this is just my own interpretation of what the payback period and certainly the initial investment is on these blueprints. So you can see here the 220 Vulcan cannon was one I had. To actually make it pay back, your payback period was something like 50 years, so you're never going to actually make your return on it. And as you can see, there's a few there, the Heavy Missile Launcher 2 and so on. And really these were just standard analysis style investments based upon updating on a regular basis your inputs. And remember, this is about transforming assets and therefore adding value. So really this was how much can you buy and build these for, what's your cost of building versus then what you can sell them for. And to be honest, as you can see, some of these payback periods are in 14, 15 years, 18 years. So it's unlikely you'll ever obviously recoup the cost of the blueprint, but you actually pretty much profit from the moment you click build or buy, to get that blueprint. Because if you buy a 50 billion blueprint, you're probably going to sell it for 50 billion because it's very difficult to judge the price of these things. So as you can see, there's a lot of pros and cons with this. You need to be fabulously wealthy, but I think as an investment, it's an interesting one to consider. If you have insane amounts of money from Titan building and such, I would strongly recommend buying Tech 2 blueprints because your payback could be as high as 38% and more. And it really depends on actually which blueprints you have, but I think certainly worthy of investment. So let's try and summarize what we've looked at today. In summary, basically Tech 2 blueprints, they will cost you a significant amount of risk, but obviously they have an incredible return with them as well, in that your income is generally going to be guaranteed. They will always be better than invention. It is a great capital investment, so if you find that you've got your ISK rich, then they're a great thing to buy. And it is particularly a grower. It's something that you'll generally buy and then just see returns over time. So there we go, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want the spreadsheet, feel free to download it from the web address there. See you next time.